The night of October 8, 1871, began like any other in Chicago, bustling, nosy, alive with the energy of a city on the rise. But by the time the sun rose again, everything had changed. A fire had broken out in a small barn behind Patrick and Catherine O'Leary's home on Decagon Street, and within hours, it had grown into an unstoppable inferno. By the time the flames finally died out 2 days later, much of Chicago lay in ruins. The Great Chicago Fire remains one of the most devastating disasters in American history. Yet more than 150 years later, its true origins remain shrouded in mystery. Was it an accident, a twist of fate, or something far more sinister? Chicago in 1871 was a city built to burn. Wooden buildings, wooden sidewalks, even wooden streets, all dried to kindling by an unusually hot and rainless summer. The fire department was undermanned, and the city's rapid growth had outpaced its infrastructure. When the first alarm sounded that night, firefighters were already exhausted from battling another blaze the day before. By the time they reached the O'Leary property, the fire had already jumped to nearby homes, whipped forward by strong, unpredictable winds. There was no stopping it now. The most famous explanation for the fire's start is the story of Mrs. O'Leary's cow. According to legend, the animal kicked over a lantern while being milked, igniting the barn. The tale spread like wildfire itself, fueled by newspaper reporters eager for a sensational story. But there's just one problem: it was almost certainly made up. The reporter who first published the cow story later admitted he had fabricated it for dramatic effect. Mrs. O'Leary herself denied being in the barn that night, and no credible witnesses ever confirmed the cow's role. Yet the myth stuck, turning an innocent woman and her livestock into scapegoats for a city's tragedy. If not the cow, then what? Over the years, countless theories have emerged. Some claimed a group of men had been gambling in the O'Leary's barn that night and carelessly dropped a pipe or match. Others pointed to a more otherworldly cause: a meteor shower. That same evening, fires broke out across the Midwest, including the deadly Peshtigo fire in Wisconsin, which killed over 1,000 people. Scientists later suggested that fragments from Biela's comet may have ignited multiple blazes as they streaked through the atmosphere. Then there's the possibility of spontaneous combustion, piles of damp heating up until they burst into flame. But with no definitive proof, the truth remains just out of reach. What we do know is the sheer horror of the fire itself. Flames raced through the city at terrifying speed, leaping from rooftop to rooftop as panicked crowds fled through the streets. The Chicago River, normally a barrier against fire, became a deadly conduit as burning oil and debris turned its surface into a river of fire. The courthouse collapsed in a shower of sparks, its great bell crashing to the ground. The wealthy watched helplessly as their mansions burned alongside the homes of the poor. By the time the fire finally burned itself out, an estimated 300 people were dead, 100,000 were homeless, and nearly a third of the city lay in ruins. Yet amid the devastation, stories of resilience emerge. Firefighters fought until their hoses melted, and ordinary citizens formed bucket brigades in desperate attempts to save their neighborhoods. When the smoke cleared, Chicago refused to be defeated. The city rebuilt with astonishing speed, replacing wood with stone and iron, rising taller and stronger than before. The fire had wiped away the old Chicago, but in its place rose a new metropolis, one that would become a global symbol of resilience and reinvention. So why does the mystery of the Great Chicago Fire still captivate us? Perhaps because it's a reminder of how fragile civilization can be, how quickly everything we've built can vanish in an instant. Or maybe it's the unanswered questions that linger, teasing us with the possibility that the truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. Whatever the case, the fire remains more than just a historical event. It's a story of destruction and rebirth, of human error and human courage, and of a mystery that may never be fully solved. In the end, the Great Chicago Fire wasn't just a disaster, it was a turning point, a moment that forced a city to confront its vulnerabilities and rise stronger than before. And at its heart lies an enigma, one that continues to spark debate, curiosity, and fascination to this day. Was it an accident, a twist of fate, or something no one has yet uncovered? The answer, like the flames that consumed Chicago, may forever remain just out of reach.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.